What do we have for Gemini, please? Judgment. Pluto, Scorpio energy at the foundation of the reading, Gemini. Gemini, the message that I've been getting surrounding the Gemini collective is that there's somebody trying to take something from you. Now, this can show up in many different ways, so really just apply it as it fits to your current set of circumstances. But for some of you, it's simply individuals trying to steal your happiness. For others, it's someone eyeing a position that you've earned, something that you have gained, some sort of success. And for a select few of you, there's people that are actually trying to take your spiritual gifts. Now, this can just be another way of speaking about some kind of talents that you have that people feel entitled to. I feel that you are breaking free of a cycle, Gemini, or you already have, where people who weren't supportive of you for the path that you have chosen in your life, you're actually starting to see movement. You're actually starting to have some level of success going down this path. Now, this is creating a lot of movement, not only in your life, but also behind the scenes for the individuals that have, well, it's not that they were only not in support of you. That's okay. People don't have to be in support of the decisions you make in your life. But it's that they actually have gone out of their way to try and put obstacles on your path. I've been picking up energy surrounding anxiety and stress and just pressure that has been created to try and make your forward momentum more difficult than it needs to be. And the Judgment card here is really speaking about what is unfolding in these individuals' lives now, because you are actually following your higher guidance. Now, when you follow your higher guidance and you start aligning with your true north path, the path that Spirit really intended for you to take in this life cycle, you have a natural sort of security system that begins to unfold all around your life and protect you. And these angels are going to go out into the field and actually start delivering judgment to energies that are trying to make your life more difficult. This Judgment card is also speaking about a rebirth that you're going through. And when an individual is going through a rebirthing in their life, there's going to be a force that unearths itself to try and stop this from taking place. And this is always quite shocking when this happens, because this is when the great reveal takes place in your life. There's energies here that are going to great lengths behind the scenes to make your life more difficult. You can feel this. You can just sense that something is off, and you can't quite put your finger on it. You are feeling like you are having to defend something you shouldn't even have to defend, and it's catching you off guard. Again, it's one of these moments where you start achieving real progress, real success, and suddenly people are crawling out of the shadows, trying to take it, taint it, or throw something at it out of jealousy and envy. But I feel that the message here, Gemini, is quite simple. Don't entertain it. The moment you give it attention, you're actually telling the universe that you need to defend it, right? Which you don't at all. You're already solidified in that space, or you're about to be. You don't need to defend it. You don't need to debate your decision-making to anybody, because you simply do not need anybody's validation on this path. The only thing you need to do is stand in your power and hold the line, because this line is something that the universe has gifted you with. And anybody who steps on this path will be judged by Source, and all you need to do is stay focused on co-creating this new reality for yourself with the divine. What do we have at the sacral, please, Spirit? Queen of Swords, air energy at the sacral. Now, the Queen of Swords energy here is confirming to us this energy that we're picking up on. This is an energy of self-preservation. This is an energy that doesn't put up with any nonsense, any BS. It's an energy that cuts it off as soon as there's even one tiny hint of drama or toxicity coming from said opposing energy. And this Queen of Swords is right there at the sacral. So this is you protecting what you're building. This is you, again, holding the line. The Queen of Swords is also an energy that has gotten to this point in their life where they're no longer making up excuses for other people. They're very honest with themselves about what it is they're actually facing. Now, that's an interesting thing to say, because it suggests that maybe there was a point in your life where you did make up excuses for other people. Maybe you've graduated on from a past version of yourself that gave people the benefit of the doubt, but it was to your detriment, right? It was almost like saying, oh, I must be overthinking something, or maybe I'm just imagining something, or maybe I'm just overreacting, right? But now you're starting to see that everything you felt back then, so to speak, was right on target. You were never off. In fact, you sold yourself short by making up excuses for other people's toxicity. This is one of these energies where you lowered your own vibration to meet other people where they were. But what you've come to realize is that by doing so, you lowered the quality of your own experience of life. And this is simply not something that you're willing to do anymore. If people can't meet you where you are now at, then they cannot be a part of this new beginning that you're in. Because you spent most of your life, if not all of it up until this point, diminishing your own light to appease others. Simply put, this is you holding yourself back from your own greatness as not to outshine all of those around you who are not willing to put in the same work that you have. And these days are over. 10 of Swords, Gemini energy, right there on the bottom of the deck. To the 10 of Cups. Okay, so the 10 of Swords represents an ending and a beginning, so follows everything we're saying here perfectly. And the 10 of Cups, this is one of the most high vibrational cards in the tarot, Pisces energy. This is your ultimate happiness and alignment. So this is where you're going, okay? You are no longer going to be living a life that is influenced by other people's lack of growth and toxicity. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? 2 of Pentacles, Capricorn energy at the solar plexus. Now, this 2 of Pentacles is following everything we're saying perfectly because the 2 of Pentacles here is an energy of adjusting, right? I feel like you adjusted yourself again to make other people feel comfortable about where they are at in their life. It's like saying, I don't need to go after that dream. I'll stay here with you. I'll be miserable with you, right? Again, this crabs in a barrel mentality, right? Instead of people saying to you, no, Gemini, I insist. I want you to go out into the world and be the greatest possible version of yourself you can possibly be. I want you to chase your dreams. I want you to be happy. Don't worry about me. I'll figure out what I need to figure out. No, you weren't met with that. You were met with, okay, Gemini, I want you to bend into shape so you can fit a less ideal experience of your life that makes me happy. You know, a lot of you were born into this. I'm picking up something here. It's really been hanging on the back of my mind throughout this whole reading. But I'm picking up something in regards to a toxic parent. For a lot of you, it's going to, okay, I just sort of sibling as well. So, but I'm getting a feminine energy. Now, it could be a masculine that has more of a toxic feminine characteristic, right? Which is really what this whole reading is picking up on. It's like toxic femininity, right? An energy that wants to drag everybody down, emotionally speaking, wants everybody else to have to feel the pain that they feel, right? As opposed to doing the work on themselves so they can show up and be better for not only themselves, but everybody else around them, right? See, an individual who wants to integrate these shadow aspects of themselves and heal any sort of traumas that may be lingering around is going to be an empowered feminine energy, right? This is somebody who understands what needs to be worked on and they get to it. This is not what I'm picking up here. This is somebody who is not aligned with the highest version of themselves and they expect everybody else in their reality to meet them at that exact same space. And the problem is, if this is an individual that has children and these children go out into the world and grow up and they're really aligning with their best version of themselves, this person here will not support them and try to work overtime to drag them down. Now, this can also show up as toxic siblings, people who haven't done the work and they're trying to drag down the other sibling because they feel slighted by that sibling, because maybe that sibling has done more work on themselves. Maybe that sibling is having more success than them. And this really puts a spotlight on them and makes them look bad, or so they think it does, right? See, they're more worried about the optics of things than they are actually putting the work in. I'm also picking up somebody who is living a lie, right? So Okay, I'm starting to hear something about you having carved out this new path, or okay, for some of you, you're about to do this, and there's this toxic sibling, or there's some sort of person in your family who is trying to make up a narrative around you. It's like people are asking where you are, and they're saying, oh, they're not doing so great, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, you're doing better than you've ever done, and it all has to do with the fact that you have cut away from these very toxic energies. It's like they're trying to create a narrative around your life that supports a lie that they have been telling other individuals that are quite possibly inquiring about you. Now, this is something that is actually very common for people who break away from lifestyles that weren't suiting them anymore. You know, really people that go into hermit mode and don't feel that they need to seek validation from anybody in and around their previous life about the moves that they are now making, right? And not only does this make that person who's gone into hermit mode the subject of all sorts of lies, but to the hermit, right? It also exposes who the hidden enemies were in their life the entire time. Now, this Two of Pentacles at the solar plexus is also speaking about how you are adapting to your new lifestyle. It's telling us that you are finally prioritizing yourself and you are starting to see a lot of headway in your life. It just seems like things are on the up and up. And this, again, is very revealing in regards to the common denominators that may have been creating this resistance in your life before you made the decision to self-empower and go down this new path. What do we have of the heart, please, Spirit? Wow, perfect. Three of Pentacles, Capricorn energy in reverse at the heart. So Two of Pentacles, Capricorn energy, Three of Pentacles, Capricorn energy here at this heart position. So the Three of Pentacles here in reverse is confirming what I said about you seeing now where the blockages always were. The people that acted like they were on your team were in fact working against you the entire time. Now, what I'm picking up here is quite dangerous because these people here knew your every move, right? These are people who presented themselves as being for you, being supportive, wanting the best for you. What they were really doing was collecting information and then behind the scenes, calculating ways to stop your forward momentum. But it just got to a point where they weren't able to keep their grip on you any longer because you had become far too powerful. And I feel that this is when spirit started to enter into your life and you started really following your higher guidance. You just felt an inner calling and there was something telling you that you needed to go down a certain path despite what anybody else thought about it. And this is what exposed these energies. I feel a lot of you right now are in this place where you're thinking back about all of this and you're beside yourself that these people didn't actually support you the way you thought that they were. You know, a lot of you are probably thinking about certain events, certain situations with these individuals, and maybe when you were trying to achieve something and then out of nowhere it just slipped through your fingers for no good reason, and now you're starting to see that these energies here had an influence on it. I'm also hearing something about them whispering self-doubt into your ear, and you weren't really tapped in the way you are now, so you couldn't see that there was actually something nefarious about this. It's like maybe they saw you becoming too confident. Maybe they saw you getting close to something, and they came through and said, you sure you want to do that? Right? Something like this. This is what this Three of Pentacles right at that heart position is speaking about, because that heart position is really highlighting some sort of true heart's desire. And the Three of Pentacles, again, in reverse, is somebody acting like they're in support of you, but they are not. Again, it's somebody who gets as close as they possibly can to you, so they have an in on all of the moves that you're making, all of the decisions that you're going over, right? This could even be somebody who you were going to for advice, right? You know, an example is somebody who works on some sort of project and they're going to somebody getting advice, not realizing that they're going to a hidden enemy for advice on what they're working on. Now, this can become very confusing because it's usually during this time that you start to feel disconnected from your creations because you're losing your way, because you're following somebody else's guidance unknowingly, and maybe you just give up on it. How many of you out there have gone through that before? I know I certainly have, when I felt really passionate about something and then I'm just getting advice from the wrong person unknowingly, and then I say, you know what, I'm not into this anymore. I just give up on it, right? But then you start to go through a situation like this where this illumination is taking place and Spirit is saying, no, you were always supposed to work on that thing. It was this person. This was a hidden enemy in your life. Now, this can also speak about you quite possibly finding passion for something that you put down because of a situation like I just detailed here. Yeah, I just heard Spirit needs you to go back to something that these energies here caused you to sacrifice. Okay, they're bringing me back to what I said about an individual trying to take your spiritual gifts or your talents, your blessings. This is how it's done. Right? It's not so much them taking it to make it their own. That's not really what I'm picking up here. It's just them taking it and obliterating it. It's an energy of, if I can't have it, neither can they. So I'll just destroy it so they're not able to elevate above where I am at in my life, right? Very narcissistic energy. And then lo and behold, look what we have right on the bottom of the deck. 7 of Swords. Okay, so everything I just said is the 7 of Swords, all right? This is somebody who's trying to take something from you, but they're trying to do it, again, let's say from up close, right? It's like you don't see it. See this person sneaking away? This is just really representing the energy, your desire, or your passion for something. See, this image to me really speaks in metaphor, right? It's like they whisper something into your ear, which maybe takes your passion away from something, and then that's them having stolen a piece of that energy, and it makes them feel empowered when they can do that. Now, when they're able to take something from you or distract you from working on something that is God-given, right? Like a talent or a blessing or just something that, again, the divine really wanted you to pursue in this life cycle. It has a way of nourishing their inner demons, right? It's just, it makes them salivate. It makes them feel powerful that they were able to pull something like that off. What do we have at the throat, please, Spirit? King of Cups, water energy at the throat. Okay, so this King of Cups energy is going back to what we said at the beginning about not even entertaining this energy, right? King of Cups is an energy that is very wise. It's also an energy that's very unreactive, very stoic. And there's something here about you now, Gemini, where I feel you have done so much work on yourself that you simply don't react in a way that you once did, right? You're not showing up to rescue this person emotionally anymore. Yeah, you're allowing them to wreck themselves. And see how he's looking at a ship which is wrecked right there? It's like you're just observing. And see how there's all those tools there? It's like you have done all this work on yourself. Yeah, I just heard you've become an island, right? They can't reach you anymore. You know better. And that's right there at that throat position. So at the communication, right? Yeah, I just heard stay focused on your path. These energies only have power if you stand before them, right? If you face off with them. See, that's what this is all about. It's just getting you to step down off your throne, right? And show up in the boxing ring with them, right? It's like they just need to get you into a space that they were once able to trigger you into entering with them. Spirit, what do we have at the third eye, please? 2 of Pentacles again. Wow. So we switched decks right here. Okay, and we have 2 of Pentacles twice here. This is further confirming everything we're saying here, because this 2 of Pentacles, we see these sheep, right? Let's say sheeple, right? You're breaking free from the societal norm or really what's expected of you in these cycles, which is, I just heard, you playing small, right? In order to coexist with these people that we're picking up here, you need to be small. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. And you have gotten to a point now where you're saying, no, I refuse that. That's not my life path. Not only is that not my life path, but I'm not doing you any favors by remaining small, because in some way, psychologically speaking, it makes you think that you don't need to self-improve. All I'm doing by staying around you is enabling your toxicity. So really, I'm not doing either one of us any favor. You know, I was saying, I think it was the Sag reading. Yeah, it was the Sag reading where the crow was bringing them a message, right? Very similar here. You know, the crow can just really represent spirit, just Mother Nature, really, right? The field around you, sending you messages, dropping these downloads onto you about this situation, right? I feel that Spirit is really encouraging you right now. There's something that you're about to achieve here, Gemini, and this energy that we're picking up right here is the first step to getting there. So let's see what this may be. What do we have at the crown, please, Spirit? What is it that Gemini is moving towards? Perfect. Page of Cups, water energy. Okay, so the Page of Cups is a new beginning, and it's an emotional new beginning. Now, this can really speak about many different things, but going back to the beginning of the reading, I was saying that they were trying to take something from you. And the first thing I said was your happiness. Now, the Page of Cups here can speak about a happy, emotional new beginning. And though I feel that there's many different things that fall under, let's say, this umbrella, right, of happiness, it's just a new life, Gemini. And I feel that it's all inclusive. There's many things that are going to come from taking this path. It's like asking Spirit, okay, what's the next step in my life? What do I need to do? And Spirit's saying, well, first, we need to get you in the vibration of happiness so we can actually align you with these new manifestations. Because until you break away from said energy, we can't even align you, vibrationally speaking, because your vibration is so low when you're entertaining these energies. Yeah, I just heard you have sacrificed yourself for long enough. It's your time now, and you need to start going after what you want out of this life. You need to stop keeping yourself small to validate other people's existence. You know, you don't even have to be a Gemini to resonate with this reading. I think that all of us can resonate with this in some capacity, whether this is something you're going through now or something you have gone through in the past. We've all come across people that try to keep us small because they don't want to put in the work and effort to just be better, right? And in pretty much every single case, we all need to feel what this is like, right? We need to be on the receiving end of something like this because it gives us more of a sense of what it is we're actually dealing with. And right on the bottom of the deck, the moon, Pisces energy. Okay, so I'm hearing that there's some sort of subconscious fear that you've had, Gemini, and Spirit is trying to align the subconscious fear to your environment. It's actually something that doesn't belong to you. It's something that has been projected onto you without you having any sort of a say-so in the matter. Now, a simple way of putting this is somebody dragging you down by proxy, right? It's somebody or something in your environment. And I'm also hearing something in regards to the different layers of how this can show up. You know, the moon is an energy that represents your subconscious mind. So it's like being around somebody who's really negative or puts a negative spin on something all the time can have a really horrible impact on your psyche, right? The way you think about yourself, the way you think about life. It's just something that spreads like a kind of spiritual disease. It hits your mentals, it hits your spiritual well-being, and it can begin to show up physically speaking as well. It's just an overwhelming energy that seeks to drag you down and to keep you small along with it. Along with it. What do we have at the foundation, please, Spirit? Okay, we're going to take both these? Yes. You know, along with it, it almost sounds like, well, it does really sound like a kind of entity attachment, right? Two of Pentacles again at the foundation, and then the Four of Pentacles at the sacral. Okay, so this just followed what we said, right? Something that seeks to keep you down with it. Now, the Two of Pentacles from this deck right here speaks about some sort of negative external force that's around you that is scattering your energy. It's something that creates disorder in your environment. It creates a sort of disorganization between you and source, between you and spirit. It's to say that it really crosses your internal wiring, so to speak. And it's right there underneath judgment. So this is the divine bringing forward judgment on these energies. I'm also hearing something here about you getting in a habit of calling judgment, right, on people who are going out of their way and deliberately trying to make your life more difficult than it needs to be. And Gemini, the best time to do something like this, if you're somebody who's a prayer warrior, right, somebody who prays every day, add this to your prayer routine. You'll be really surprised at how things begin to shift around your life after you get in the habit of doing this, right? It's like you're constantly calling on judgment, on energies. It's like you need to create repetition, And this is something that isn't widely spoken about, I feel. But when it comes to prayer and calling judgment, it's like you have to do it repeatedly, right? There has to be, again, repetition there before you start to actually see and feel the change around your life. It's kind of like going to the gym and working out. It's like you need to get in that energy of repetition. The same thing for prayer. One prayer doesn't do anything. Okay? That one prayer is just basically you knocking on the door. You need to keep knocking over and over and over. You need to keep showing up to that space. It's like one prayer is just you knocking on the divine's door. You need to keep showing up. Then we have the Four of Pentacles, also Capricorn energy, right underneath that Queen of Swords. Now, the Four of Pentacles from this deck is really highlighting finances here. And it's to say that in areas where you once had struggle, you are now starting to see movement because you have gotten away from these energies, right? And again, this can be one of these situations where an individual has some sort of energetic influence over your life without you really even knowing it, right? Some of these lower vibrational energies and the way that these people go about living their life, their energy can be all-consuming, right? You've all felt when you get around somebody who is just kind of off, right? And you feel kind of sick to your stomach and you feel that overwhelming sense that you just need to get away from that person, right? It's important to understand that when a high vibrational person, walks into a room that has a bunch of low vibrational people in it, you're not going to be able to get all of those people to meet you on your high vibration, And the reason for this is actually quite complex, but the simplest way I can put this is think about all the work that you've had to put into your life to get to where you are vibrationally speaking. Now, for all of those people to meet you at that same vibration, they have to go down that path as well. And not only is that something you probably couldn't even imagine them doing, but think about the amount of time it would take for them to be able to do that. Now, you have likely been where those people were at one point in your life, right? Especially if they're family members. So it's a lot easier for you to lower your vibration to meet them where they're at. They are not going to raise their vibration in a moment, right, and meet you where you're at. And that sickening feeling that you have around those people is literally your vibration lowering in that very moment. So pay attention to this, okay? And Gemini, Spirit wants you to move forward on your path, even away from these situations, with that newfound sense of discernment. I mean, really, that's a spiritual gift, is when you can pick up on the vibrations in a room and then move accordingly, right? It's like you just have another sense now, another spiritual gift has come online as a result of you graduating on from this cycle. And it makes perfect sense. It's like Spirit saying, okay, it's over now. You're graduating. Not only are we going to elevate you into this new timeline where you have all these new beginnings, but we're also going to arm you with the spiritual gift of discernment and being able to read people's vibration because you're going to need it moving forward. What do we have? The solar plexus, please. King of Wands, fire energy at the solar plexus. Gemini, I feel that somebody is really exposing their inner demons as a result of this newfound sense of happiness. And again, not only is this completely exposing as to who they really were in your life, but it's also validating what you've always known and felt. It's like your happiness is triggering some sort of emotional reaction out of this person, out of these people, whoever it is you're dealing with. It's like their inner demons are really unearthing themselves and coming to the surface now. The King of Wands from this deck is one of the nastiest energies in the tarot. Okay, this is a bully. This is somebody who's very overbearing, a very nasty kind of individual. It's like this Two of Pentacles right here is showing us that Well, you're in between this figure eight, which I see sometimes as being, you know, the crossover point between everything you've always known and where you're going, right? This new cycle here. And it's like, here you are, you're making these moves. And as we can see, we got some rocky waters here, right? So it's creating a lot of upheaval, a lot of emotional reactions, King of Wands, right? Gemini, I'm also hearing something here in regards to your energy levels and the amount of stress that these situations, these people are bringing into your life. It's like stress creates exhaustion, right? Lack mindsets create exhaustion. Behavioral patterns that aren't in alignment with your highest good can have a way of draining you in ways that you don't really notice at first. All of these things sort of chip away at your energetic supply. And I feel that you're beginning to come back to life because you've removed yourself from these environments, from these people. It's like your whole entire system is resetting and you're feeling like yourself again, or in some cases, you're feeling yourself in a way that you never even have before. It's like you have finally reached a new kind of normal. And the moment you feel that kind of clarity, it's like you're able to pinpoint exactly who or what it was that was draining you. And then sure enough, these energies come back trying to re-enter into your life. And the second they do, you start to feel that depletion all over again. And in that moment, that common denominator reveals itself. And I feel that's what's going on right now. And this could simply come down to you not talking to somebody anymore because every interaction with them sort of pulled you downward, right? You could feel, again, your vibration lowering. You felt yourself dimming. You felt yourself getting smaller. It's like all of a sudden life becomes heavier. So you create that distance and suddenly life starts breathing again. That's the worst fear, right? That's why they always try to re-enter. And you know, I feel that some of you are dealing with situations where you're already picking up on these people trying to re-enter. It's like you know that they're about to. It's like you're feeling that weight. You're like, what is that? If you're feeling that right now, it's because they're either trying to think about ways to get back in your energy, or it's like somebody who maybe creates like a fake email account and starts harassing you through email. And you start to have that feeling that you had when they were around you, right? And Spirit is telling you, hey, it's them behind that secret account. It's them harassing you from a fake account. That's why you feel that way. Now, there's a bunch of different ways that can show up, so really apply that to your situation, okay? Yeah, we have Judgment again on the bottom of this deck, all right? So the Judgment card from this particular deck, I read as Judgment in reverse. It's like somebody who's trying to push back against divine judgment. It's like they're rejecting it. Like, no. It's like Judgment showing up at this person's front door and they slam the door in Judgment's face, right? And Judgment's like, hey, we got an arrest warrant here. Okay, it's time to give it up. And they refuse to come out of the house, right? That's what this Judgment is right here. It's like this guy right here is creeping up behind them and right, they're trying to get away. Okay, what do we have at the heart, please, Spirit? Too many cards. What do we have at the heart? Okay. Oh, is that Judgment again? Okay, we're going to start. There's two sides to this card. We're going to start on this side first. So we have the King of Cups again. So we have that twice. But this one right here is like King of Cups in its shadow. Okay, so that's an energy of emotional abuse. We've got King of Wands and King of Cups in their shadow. Again, two of the nastiest energies you can probably get. So not only is this person a bully, but they're emotionally manipulative and they're incredibly volatile, okay? This is somebody who you probably don't even want to be in the same room with, Gemini, okay? This is somebody here who's trying to trigger a reaction out of you so they have something on you, which again goes back to what we said about not even facing off with these energies, okay? One, because you don't need their validation on the moves you're making, and two, because this person, I mean, based on the energy here, this is a dangerous person, okay? This person is a loose cannon. King of Wands and King of Cups, both in their shadow back to back. And then on the bottom of this card, we have Judgment again, right there. So we've seen Judgment 3 times. We have 2 on the table, and we just saw it underneath this deck right here. Now, the Judgment card here reads similar to this one. Okay, so the full force of the divine is coming down on their head. There's nothing they can do about this. However, the only way that they can delay this is by getting you to re-engage with them in some capacity, right? So let's say you face off with them in some capacity. Then the divine says, wait. Hold back Judgment, right? Gemini's in the field. We can't risk Gemini getting hit with this Judgment too. Right? So it's like, yeah, I just heard, it's like they take you as hostage. You know, when I was giving that analogy regarding Judgment showing up on their front doorstep with the arrest warrant, I wanted to say it was like a hostage situation, but it didn't make sense within the context of the way I was reading it in the moment, but it does now, right? See, when you think about it in that context, it makes perfect sense. It's like they take you as a hostage, so Judgment can't hit them. Yeah, it's like this person is using you as a shield. This is a real coward, okay? But this is somebody who understands spiritual laws. They know that if they keep you around, if they keep you hooked into this timeline with them, they can evade their karma. This is what this all comes down to. You know, it's also another situation where, again, you know, we spoke about this being an enabler situation, right? And the best thing you can really do for them is get out of the way, is get on with your life, is go out there and be happy and be the greatest you that you can ever be, because it starts those wheels of Judgment turning in their life, which allows the divine to deliver their karma to them. And really the whole intention of that is to just get them back on track anyway. It's like, it's just a form of discipline, right? It's like everybody has to go through that in some capacity to realign them with their true north. When you hear about somebody getting karma, the focus doesn't need to be on, oh, I hope that person really gets it, right? You know, think about it more like, well, it's unfortunate this had to happen, but this is the best chance they have of actually getting better, right? Because it's like they're spiritually sick. And, you know, Gemini, there's something to be said about taking that point of view as well, right? Because it shows that you do have empathy, right? But you also understand what toxic empathy is, which toxic empathy is feeling sorry for these people and allowing them to keep putting you through these situations, right? See, empathy practiced with discernment is understanding when you say no more, and that is actually when you become the most empowered version of an empath that there possibly is, right? See, an empath isn't an emotional dumping ground. And this is something that unfortunately takes learning very hard life lessons like this to realize. Yes, you can have empathy from those people, but you do it from a distance and you allow the divine to work in their life to get the wheels of karma turning. When it comes to being an empath, you must put yourself first. It's not your responsibility to constantly fix other people, especially when they don't want to be fixed. You need to let them learn from their own mistakes. You know, toxic energy becomes so overwhelming that it causes you to not really see your own needs, and you get lost in situations just like this. And this creates the stress, which leads to the emotional exhaustion. What do we have in the throat, please, Spirit? 4 of Pentacles again. 3, 2 of Pentacles, 2, 4 of Pentacles. This 4 of Pentacles here, stacked with this King of Cups, is Spirit giving a very clear message. And it goes back to what we said about no longer being an emotional dumping ground and focusing on your long-term security here. You've been given a real opportunity here, Gemini. Something that you have been trying to manifest into your life is showing up. But this is the process by which you get on this path, right? And for some of you, you didn't even realize that when this thing would show up, that there would be a breaking down of this other cycle. You know, this is something that I always mention, right? When people are trying to manifest things into their life and it shows up, all of a sudden, another area of their life is falling apart and they're wondering what's going on. And the divine is saying, well, hey, you want to manifest this other thing into your life that's actually in alignment with your highest good, but yet you're entertaining this thing over here that is not in alignment with your highest good. So in order to bring this other manifestation into alignment with you, we got to break this thing down. You can't be entertaining this anymore. And this is exactly what we're getting here. What do we have at the third eye, please, Spirit? Page of Swords, air energy at the third eye. Now, Gemini, this Page of Swords is picking up on this envy that I have been sensing inside the field here. Okay, you're also represented by the Page of Swords here, but I feel that this is somebody who is really being, it's like they're being silenced, right? It's like they can't say anything anymore. Yeah, I just heard you're too far gone now. Whenever I see this imagery, I feel that it just depicts the energy perfectly, because it's somebody here who I feel was once, just blabbing and just always talking some BS about you, right? Making up this false narrative around your life. But now it's like you're on this poster here. You're living your best life, right? And it's like they have their mouth bound up, so it's like they can't say anything anymore. And right here on the bottom of this Four of Pentacles, it says cures mental illness. Now, being engaged in this situation over here that you're moving on from is a form of mental illness because of the amount of stress that it leads to in your life. Okay, it's like, again, the stress creates the exhaustion. The exhaustion just creates more stress and then anxiety on top of it because maybe you're not meeting deadlines. Maybe you're not able to get things done. So it's just like this cascade of problems that are now coming to an end. Right on the bottom of the deck, the divine, God, source, the Hierophant, okay? All right, what do we have at the crown to close this out for Gemini, please? Two of Wands, Aries energy at the crown. Okay, now whenever I see this Two of Wands, the imagery here, it's like you're holding your pulse, you're looking back, and you look kind of tired, you look kind of upset, but it's like you're looking back and you're seeing things now from this new perspective. You're understanding everything we're speaking about here. You're seeing the situation in a way that you didn't before. And it's like you're looking back, right, holding your pulse, like, oh my God, was that even real? How could they? Those people are so evil, right? So the Two of Wands just also speaks about how you're putting a plan together now. Things are beginning to unfold in an organic way, universally speaking. It's to say that things are how they should be. You're actually making progress in your life. You're actually seeing movement in a way that you weren't able to when you were engaged in this other cycle. So Gemini, all things considered, this is an incredibly positive reading that is showing a tremendous amount of hope for you. Okay, but it's also showing us a message here regarding exactly what you may be dealing with in some capacity and how it's going to take eradicating these energies from your life, moving on from these energies, whatever they may be for you, in order to truly step into this new beginning. Because this is actually something you deserve. This is a long time coming, and it's here for you now, okay? But these energies can't go with you. They can't share in this with you because you simply would not be able to experience this new beginning in its fullest capacity if you tried to drag along some of these energies with you. So with that, Gemini, I will leave it here. Okay, Gemini, this is what I have for all of you. I would like to know how this reading resonated with you, so please drop me a like and or a comment down below, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Take care.